The Detroit Lions are able to come back and get a win, beating the Chicago Bears 34-17 after losing to the Buffalo Bills last week, and do it in a fantastic way, fantastic manner. They beat the Bears by 17 points. They moved to the best record they have ever had in franchise history, now 13-2. So shout out to the Detroit Lions for that. Um, and the Bears fall to 4-11. They were already eliminated. We are now 5-0 in the division this year. If we beat the Vikings, we'll be undefeated in the division. I can't remember the last time that we have won every single game in a season against the division. It's been a very long time. I'll just say that. I know back in 22 we did go 5-1, only losing to the Vikings. So we'll see if that repeats. But the Detroit Lions are able to get a gritty win, winning 34-17. Now, this game to me, we dominated. We absolutely dominated the first quarter, first half, arguably. Second quarter, it was about 50-50. I think both teams played just okay in the second half, all right? I would say the Bears played pretty good. We just played okay. We might have played good. I got to go watch the tape like I always do after the game. Um, we might have played better than what I thought just because of how we were playing in the first half. Maybe like my views just went down from how we played, but let's go over the stats like we always do, real quick. Team stats, player stats, Lions. Jared Goff had another fantastic day, throwing 32 passes, completing 23 of them for 336, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And one of his touchdowns was probably the best, one of the better, I don't know if it was the best, but one of the better trick plays I've ever seen the Lions pull out since I've ever been a Lions fan. It was where Jared Goff hiked the ball. He did a fake fall to the ground. You know how he always stumbles sometimes because he's Jared Goff. He's not the best at running out of the pocket. He always trips sometimes when pressure's coming after him. He kind of did that type of thing. And Jahmyr Gibbs also acted like he tripped. And Jared Goff was able to do some play action pass and complete it to Sam Laporta for I think it was a 21-yard passing touchdown. Beautiful play. Um, Me and my dad were laughing. It was hilarious. I don't even know what to say off of that trick play. It was phenomenal. Um, Ben Johnson, please don't go to the Bears, man. I really think he's gonna go to the Bears. Please. What a fantastic play that was, and what a fantastic game for Jared Goff. And the cold weather games with Jared Goff, it needs to stop. He plays fantastic no matter what he is. Yeah, he might play slightly better in a dome or something like that, or warmer weather. But when Jared Goff, even if he's going in a cold game, snow game, wet game, rain game, whatever it is, he's gonna play good. It's Jared Goff. He is a good quarterback in this league. He can overcome those things now. We've seen it. Played pretty well against the Packers. Played phenomenal against the Bears today. And the Bears have an underrated secondary, in my opinion. So, shout out to Jared Goff, continuing to keep those MVP hopes alive. He has now thrown the most passing touchdowns as well he's ever thrown in his NFL career in a single season. Now has 33 on the year. If he throws 7 more touchdowns within these next 2 games, he would throw 40 on the year. So shout out to Jared Goff, and he is on pace to throw less interceptions than he did last year. And I also believe he's on pace to throw about for about the same amount of yards as he did last year as well. So shout out to Jared Goff, man. Phenomenal day again. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs with Dave Montgomery going down, he's actually not out for the year. I didn't do an update on that. He's not out for the year. Ian Rappaport put out some information that he's targeting a divisional round return right now. And if we can get that number 1 seed, that means we only have to play 2 more games without Dave Montgomery. Put that in perspective. So there's potential if we lock up the number 1 seed, most likely we only have to play 2 more games without David Montgomery. So that's huge. So shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs. Had 23 carries for 109 rushing yards, 4.7 yards to carry, a touchdown. He played phenomenal today. Even though the yards per carry might not be the highest he's ever had, he still played unreal. A lot of those carries, like at least probably 5 or 6 of those carries that he had, is 3 of them came when the Lions got down to about the 3-yard line. They ran it 3 times in a row. He couldn't get nothing. So a couple of those came off of that. Jahmyr Gibbs had a fantastic day. That's all I got to say. He is a true running back 1. Both of our running backs are true running back 1s. Both top 10 running backs in the league. It's unreal. Craig Reynolds when he did step in, played nice today. 4 for 18, 4.5 yards a carry. He looks good, looks tough. Just not Dave Montgomery. Jermar Jefferson did play a little bit today. He got elevated. This was his first game since 2021 against the Steelers, I believe. Had 3 carries for 13 yards. He played pretty good when he was out there. Also had a catch, I believe, for around the first down, 10 yards. He played pretty well. Jameson Williams had one of those sweeps for about 7 yards that almost resulted in a fumble on the pitch back to J-Mo, but Lions were able to keep possession. And that's it for the rushing. Receiving, Jameson Williams, fantastic day. 5 receptions, 143 yards, and a touchdown. One of those touchdowns coming on an 80-yard touchdown bomb. His longest touchdown catch of Jameson Williams' career and longest touchdown throw of Jared Goff's career. The longest touchdown I know that we had last year was Dave Montgomery's 75-yard touchdown run against the Chargers, and now that beats this. This beats that. I can't remember the last time that we had a longer touchdown than 82 yards. It's been a long time. I think actually the last thing I read was Calvin Johnson back in 2011 or 2013 or something when he connected with Stafford on an 84-yard touchdown or something like that. I can't remember though. Had a fantastic day though, and I want to shout out Jared Goff again. His deep ball has gotten so much better this year from years in the past. The one last week against the Bills to J-Mo that J-Mo wasn't able to pull in. The best ball I've ever probably seen him throw. For sure the best deep ball I've ever seen him throw. And arguably the best ball I've ever seen him throw in general in his whole entire career. It's a beautiful spiral. Great deep pass. Probably the longest throw as well. I've also seen him throw like a 60-yard pass through the air. Fantastic pass. And this one was just as good. This was probably also around 60 yards through the air. I wouldn't say quite that long. It's probably about 55, somewhere around there. But also a absolute dot. His deep ball has gotten so much better this year. And I expect it to keep getting better because he's just going to have to keep throwing to J-Mo. Because if J-Mo beats you with speed, it's an automatic, 50-yard bomb plus. So, shout out to J-Mo and shout out to Jared Goff with that deep ball getting a little bit better. St. Brown had a pretty solid day. 6 for 71 touchdown. No complaints there. Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 for 45, continues to get involved through the receiving game. Sam Laporta had a solid day again, 4 for 43 and a touchdown. Sam Laporta is starting to come along these past couple, I would say 2 or 3 weeks. He's starting to play very well. He's starting to look back to his 2023 Laporta self again. He's been playing very well these past couple weeks. Jermar Jefferson did have a catch through the air, 1 for 10. Reynolds had also a catch, 1 for 5. Tim Patrick had a slow day today, 0 for 0, did not have a single catch. I don't even think he had a target on the day. But not complaining because our other receivers made up for it. On the defensive side of the ball, Brian Branch had 10 tackles leading the team. Amik Robertson had a very good day. He knocked a ball out on Roma Dunze, and he also made some nice tackles in the backfield, a couple tackles for us. He did get beat a couple times in coverage, but was able to make it up with the run game stops he had. Terron Arnold did a very, very good job, in my opinion, today. Was not getting worked at all, in my opinion. Had a nice breakup on DJ Moore in the end zone. And made some nice couple tackles as well. Probably was pretty sticky in coverage today. He did allow some completions to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen did kind of eat him a little bit, but he held his own, I thought, against Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. Very good, honestly. Jack Campbell had another good day. Levi Onwuzurike got some pressure today. Wasn't able to bring Williams down. Almost said Fields like 3 times there. Almost was able to bring Levi down. Fatu Melifonwu came back. The Lions activated him off injured reserve yesterday, and he was able to get a sack. He realistically could have got there today 2 or 3 times. Iffy makes a big difference in that pass rush game and that run game, honestly. Very sticky in coverage as well. Made a nice play in the end zone. I believe it was on DJ Moore. And anybody else to highlight here? Al-Quaid Muhammad got his 2nd sack of the season. Both of his sacks on the year coming against his former team, the Chicago Bears. Al-Quaid Muhammad, I'm telling you, man, if you put him out there, he's going to get pressure. The past couple weeks when he has been out there, he hasn't looked like he did, when he first signed with the Lions, but he still can get pressure, man. I don't understand why we still keep blitzing Nowaski and those guys more than him. It doesn't make any sense to me. But shout out to Al-Quaid Muhammad, get his 2nd sack of the season, and that was it in terms of sacks. I believe the Bears have now allowed 60 sacks this year. It's unreal. Now, Zadarius Smith also got in the backfield a couple times, wasn't able to bring him down. But I'm going to tell you right now, all right, the one complaint or one issue I have going down from here in the future games is this offense is going to have to continue playing like this. It's going to have to. We also today have scored the most points the Lions have ever scored in history, and we still have 2 games remaining. It's unreal. So shout out to the Lions again for their offense continuing to. They've, I think, scored now 14 more points is what I read than last year's offense, and we still got 2 games left. It's unreal. But back to the defensive side of the ball here. The offense is gonna have to keep playing at the level they are for the rest of the season because don't get me wrong, the Bears have some talented pieces on their offense. They got Cole Kmet, they got DJ Moore, they got Roma Dunze, they got Keenan Allen, who apparently only eats us alive because he's pretty much all of us can say past his prime, except against the Lions. He always eats us alive every time. I don't understand. But they got some weapons. Caleb Williams starting to develop. They got Gerald Everett, but underwhelming, but he's still a good player. They got, that's pretty much all they got. But that's still not a solid, that's still a decent team. They got DeAndre Swift, overrated back in my opinion, not going to lie, but he's not bad. He's not bad. Does have some speed in there, can break some tackles. He's essentially a Jahmyr Gibbs, just not as good. He's more of a running back 2 to me or a bottom running back 1, but he's still not a bad running back by any means. So they got some pieces on their offense, by no means. But this pass rush, I don't know how we're going to be able to make this better. I know there's some guys out there. I know there is Shaq Lawson, Irvin, JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, Melvin Ingram, but I don't know how much those guys would be able to help if we're to bring them in here because any of those guys that we sign, they're going to take some time to develop, to learn the playbook and stuff. So they're probably going to have to sit out for the first week or 2, which would be the rest of the remaining regular season. Which means we have to deal with the pass rush we have right now. And, again, you got guys who can pressure the quarterback, like Zadarius Smith, Quaida Muhammad, those guys like that. But besides that, you have nobody consistently, besides those 2 guys, in my opinion, that could consistently rush the passer and get pressure. Yeah, Pat O'Connor's having a good year this year, but he's not, consistent like that. DJ Reader can get pressure, but he's not consistent enough to get pressure like that. Trevor Nowaski's Trevor Nowaski. I've said about him in the past. And so on and so forth. Josh Paschal, Levi, same case. They cannot get pressure enough. They don't have enough consistency with their pass rush and pressure. So we need to get a guy in here who can have some more consistency. Because Zadarius Smith is old. He's only going to play at most 70% of the snaps. Quaida Muhammad, they don't like him that much apparently. Because they only put him out there for like 30% of the snaps every week, it seems like. I don't understand. But I know Myjai Sanders. Myjai Sanders would probably be honestly the best option because we need a young guy in that defensive end room. That way, since they don't like to use Zadarius Smith more than 70% of the snaps and Muhammad more than 30% of the snaps, go get Myjai Sanders who can be in there 70% of the snaps, 80% of the snaps because he's younger. I don't know. It's going to come down to the offense here in my opinion because the pass rush just can't get there. That's simple enough. I know Caleb Williams can scramble, but Brock Purdy, we're going to struggle to bring him down next week. They got a good offensive line, solid offensive line. They got one of the best tackles in NFL history in Trent Williams. So, whoever we face in the playoffs, Jalen Hurts, whoever it is, it's going to be tough bringing him down. So, again, this defense has pieces, but it comes first with the pass rush and then the secondary, in my opinion. We still have very good secondary, but it's going to come down to the pass rush. And the pass rush just can't get there right now, in my opinion. So, the offense is going to have to continue to carry us, or we're just going to have to change the scheme. And what I want to see is Jamal Adams get activated next week, or elevated next week, and have Jamal Adams and Fatu Melifonwu both rushing the passer. Because if that happens, I think we can get there quite a bit. So I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if any Lions creators throwing that out there yet. But if we can put Jamal Adams and Fatu Melifonwu on the same field at the same time, maybe one in coverage, the other one rushing the passer, both rushing the passer, both in coverage. I don't know. But have them both rushing the passer during the game because it works with Fatu Melifonwu. It sort of worked with Jamal Adams. It's worked with Jamal Adams in the past with the Jets. So that's what I'm doing because if we can get pressure, if we can get sacks, because my biggest deal is bringing the quarterback down. We can't get pressure, but bringing the quarterback down is what we struggle with. So if we can do that, we can win games, and this defense can win us games. But if we can't do that, it's tough. So just want to throw that out there. I know that was like a 5-minute pep talk, but there we go again. Anybody else to highlight here on the defensive side of the ball? I do want to say this before I forget about it. Jake Bates, attempted a 65-yard field goal. He did miss it. It was pushed to the right about a yard or two, and he missed it by a yard or two as well. It was short by a yard or two. So, and it was actually going to be a 60-yard field goal, but apparently Hogan Hatton was messing with the ball, and they called it a false start. That was bullcrap, in my opinion. I don't understand that at all. How that's a penalty. He's just trying to get it right in his hands. That way he can snap it right. Which they moved it back 5 yards. They were able to give Jake Bates a 65-yard field goal try. And I know Jake Bates can make a 63, 64-yard field goal plus. Because he was dealing with the wind. He's dealing outside in the cold weather, 30 degrees. Jake Bates, fantastic kicker. He has now missed 3 on the season. I believe he is 23 for 26 on the year. Still very good. Still one of the better percentages in the league. And we'll go over the team stats here real quick and wrap this video up. Total yards, 475 for the Lions, 382 for the Bears. Passing yards, 329 for the Lions, 323 for the Bears. Caleb Williams ate us alive today, I'm not going to lie. And he's looking very good. Rushing yards, 146 for the Lions, 59 for the Bears. Yards per play, 7.3 for the Lions, 6.5 for the Bears. 27 first downs for the Lions, 19 for the Bears. Third down efficiency, 7 for 12 for the Lions, 2 for 10 for the Bears. They sucked on that. Fourth down efficiency, we went for it once, did not get it. They went 4 times, they got it 3 times. We got to work on that. Total plays, 65 to 59 for the Bears. Sacks allowed, we allowed 1, they allowed 2. Punts, we punted the ball once, they punted the ball 3 times. Penalty for yardage, 7 for 55 for the Lions, 10 for 70 for the Bears. Fumbles lost, 0 to 2 for the Bears, both on Rome Odunze. Interceptions thrown, 0-0. Time possession, 31 and 29 seconds for the Lions. 26 minutes and 31 seconds for the Chicago Bears. See if there's anybody who, I forgot who is live. Again, Caleb Williams had a fantastic day against us. DeAndre Swift struggled. Keenan Allen, again, ate us alive. 9 for 141 in the touchdown. Rome Odunze did play okay. So did DJ Moore, besides the 2 fumbles for Rome Odunze. Cole Kmet was pretty quiet. Zach Pickens is the one who got the sack, and that's pretty much it. So, shout out to the Detroit Lions moving to a best franchise record, 13-2. And you see it at the bottom of the thumbnail. If the Vikings, which that game is going on right now, it should be, by the time you're probably seeing this, is probably around in the 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter. If the Vikings lose that game against Seattle this week, tonight, when you're seeing this, all we have to do is beat the San Francisco 49ers next week, and we will clinch the number 1 seed no matter what happens with the Philadelphia Eagles or any other team. We will clinch the number 1 seed. Again, we will clinch the number 1 seed if the Vikings lose tonight versus the Seattle Seahawks and we beat San Francisco next week. We will clinch the 1 seed and the NFC North. So that's all we have to do. So, one pride, go Lions. We got to get some help on this defensive line. And we got a legitimate chance, man. We do. We just got to figure out how to help that defensive line. That's all we got to do, in my opinion. Every other position, we're going to be getting healthier at. Linebacker, we should be getting Alex back in a couple weeks, potentially Derek Barnes as well. And we're going to get Jern back. Cornerback, we're going to potentially be getting Ennis Rakestraw back. We're going to be getting healthier. Also want to put this out, forgot to mention this. Brandon Joseph got waived yesterday. Not really, I don't really like that move at all. Now, it was because apparently he got arrested for a DUI. I don't know if that's true, but I saw some articles that he was arrested for DUI, and that's what caused his release. So his time as a Detroit Lion is probably over, and his NFL career, I doubt it's over, but it could be. But his time as a Detroit Lion is most likely over. So that's really unfortunate. Very underrated safety. I thought he had a lot of potential. But it is what it is. One pride, go Lions. On to San Francisco to get that number 1 seed. Let's go.